What's up, foodies? Today, foodies, I'm going to show you how to cook the perfect steak, so let's get into it. Alright, foodies, we are going to be doing the reverse sear method. We are first going to start by setting our oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit and letting that preheat. You can use any of your favorite cuts of steak for this. Personally, I like prime rib, but today I'm using strip loin as it was on sale and I wanted to save money. Everything's expensive these days, so that's what I went with. So when you buy your steak, you want to make sure you get 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. That's really what's going to work for this method. If you get anything less, it could still work, but chances are it won't. So make sure you get at least 1.5 inches to 2 inches. You can ask your butcher to cut it for you, or you can buy a full roast, take it home and cut it into the thickness you need. First, you want to season your steak. We're going to use a bit of kosher salt and pepper here. Make sure you give a nice generous coating all over with salt. It is a big piece of meat, and if you don't season enough, it's going to be bland, and we don't want that. So make sure you give it a nice coating. After you've seasoned your meat, you can put this in the fridge for 8 hours or overnight and cook it the next day. It's going to help infuse the salt into the center of the meat. I don't have time for that today, so we're just going to season it, let it rest for a couple of minutes on the table, about 20-30 minutes, and then we're going to place it into our oven. Once you have your steak ready to go, take a thermometer and place it into the center of the meat. I'm using my Meter Plus today. Meter did not sponsor this video. They did give my followers a 10% off their first purchase. Links in the description below. I do get a kickback from that, so just to let you guys know, it does help the channel out. Now, if you don't have a Meter Plus, a simple old thermometer will work. You just got to pull it out every now and then and keep an eye on the temperature. So once your steak's in the oven, you're going to cook it until it gets to the desired temperature you're shooting for. I'm shooting for about 130, 135 degrees, so that's when I'm going to pull it. So the best part about the meter is that I can keep an eye on my phone, just check it when it's ready to go. So I'm going to pull that at that temperature. If you don't have a meter, like I said, use a thermometer and just pull it periodically to keep an eye on where that temperature is to. Once your meat is cooked, we're going to pull it out, and then we're going to get our station ready to sear our steak to get a nice crust on the outside. So when the steak comes out of the oven, it's not going to look very pretty. It's kind of ugly, I'm not going to lie. But the thing here is we're going to put some color on that now and give a nice sear to it. So we want to be quick while we're searing. You don't want to take too long while you're doing this because you still can overcook this thick piece of meat. You can use a torch to sear the outside to get a nice color, or if it's summertime, cook it over some hot coals and get a nice sear on that. Or you can still sear it in a pan with some butter, herbs, and garlic and sear it off quickly. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm using my carbon steel pan. I'm going to get it ripping hot. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of canola oil, and then I'm going to place my meat into the pan and sear it on each side for about 30 to 40 seconds, just enough to give it a nice golden color. Now, while you sear all the sides of your meat, don't forget to sear the fat. You want to give that some nice color as well. So once our meat is seared, I'm going to baste it with some garlic, herbs, and butter. So throw in your herbs, throw in your butter and some garlic, and then start basting for about 30 to 40 seconds, just to infuse a bit of extra flavor into that. We're going to take it off the heat, place it onto a wire rack, place our herbs and garlic on top of the steak, and pour over butter, and let that rest for about 3 to 4 minutes. While that's resting, grab a cutting board, put your steak onto it, start giving it a couple slices. We're going to go straight across all the way over. And there you go, look at that. Perfectly cooked steak. I'm going to enjoy this. So there you have it, guys. Reverse your steak. Very simple, easy to do. And if you like the video, give a thumbs up, a subscribe down below. And until next time, foodie out.